Kyoto, 1582. A samurai lies dead in a side street. No wounds, no struggle, no witnesses. The magistrate questions everyone, shopkeepers, servants, guards. Did you see anyone suspicious? Any strangers? Anyone unusual? They all say the same thing. Just normal people, nobody worth noticing. But one person was there, a man with a broom. Or was it buckets? Maybe firewood? Every witness remembers him differently. The only constant? Nothing special about him. This is Tsune-no-gata, the common form. The disguise that doesn't scare you or charm you. It bores you into blindness. Welcome to Natori Masazumi's ultimate revelation. The most dangerous ninja isn't the one you fear. It's the one you forget while looking directly at him. In the Shichi Hō sequence, you've seen extremes. Merchants weaponizing greed. Monks weaponizing faith. Yamabushi weaponizing terror. Tsune-no-gata is the opposite pole. No fear, no awe, no curiosity. Just background noise. Here's what Natori understood about human psychology. The brain cannot process everything it sees. It filters aggressively, deleting 99% of data as irrelevant. Samurai see threats. Merchants see opportunities. Lords see status markers. But a tired peasant carrying vegetables? A servant sweeping floors? A clerk writing reports? They trigger the brain's delete function. Seen but not processed. Observed but not remembered. The Shoninki states coldly, the merchant who is trusted must be remembered. The monk who is respected will be recalled. The common man who is ignored becomes invisible while standing in full light. Natori breaks down why this disguise was devastatingly effective. Universal access. Common people existed everywhere. No location was off limits because ordinary folk were environmental background. Zero verification. Nobody checked credentials of unremarkable peasants. You weren't important enough to investigate. Memory deletion. Guards trained to remember threats couldn't recall faces their brain classified as irrelevant noise. Sustainable operations. Return repeatedly without recognition. Yesterday's forgotten face is today's invisible operative. But achieving true ordinariness required systematic destruction of everything that made you memorable. Creating Tsune-no-gata was harder than any other disguise because it required becoming nothing. First principle. Eliminate all distinguishing features. Not hide them, never possess them. Height. Not tall, not short. Exactly average for your region. Build. Not muscular, not frail. Perfectly unremarkable medium. Face. No scars, no distinctive features. Bone structure that blends into every crowd. Voice. Not deep, not high. Tone that disappears into ambient conversation. The Shoninki's logic is brutal. The man who is slightly handsome will be remembered. The man who is slightly ugly will be recalled. Only the man who is perfectly unremarkable becomes invisible. This meant ninja with distinctive features could never use this disguise effectively. Physical averageness wasn't enough. Movement had to scream ordinary. Walk at crowd pace, not confident stride, not nervous shuffle. Unremarkable rhythm matching traffic flow. posture showing neither pride nor submission, just existing, taking appropriate space without apology or deference. Eye contact, brief acknowledgement without challenge, the social script everyone follows unconsciously. Emotional display, mild, appropriate, never extreme, nothing worth remembering. Move through space like furniture, present but unprocessed by conscious attention. If questioned, rare but possible, your story had to be perfectly boring. Occupation, day laborer, porter, jobs so common they triggered no curiosity. Origin, nearby village with forgettable name, not exotic enough to interest anyone. Purpose, mundane errand, delivering vegetables, seeking work, visiting relatives. Every answer designed to make interrogator lose interest mid-question. The Shoninki teaches this core principle. The elaborate lie invites scrutiny. The boring truth invites dismissal. Be so dull, they stop listening before you finish speaking. But to fully weaponize invisibility, Ninja needed to understand the neuroscience of attention itself. Natori didn't know modern neuroscience terms, but he understood the principles with frightening precision. Human brains evolved to detect threats, predators, enemies, anomalies. This creates automatic attention capture. Unusual patterns trigger investigation. Deviations get flagged. Tsune-no-gata exploited this by triggering zero-threat responses. Not by hiding, by being so normal the detection system never activated. Guard scanning crowd, samurai with sword, threat detected. Merchant with goods, opportunity noted. Beggar acting strange, anomaly flagged. Common laborer carrying vegetables, pattern matches safe background. Attention slides past without engaging. Checkpoint guards process hundreds of faces daily. Mental fatigue is massive. Brain conserves energy by categorizing quickly. Important versus unimportant. Memorable versus forgettable. Anything requiring extra processing gets remembered because brain invested resources. Anything processed as irrelevant background gets deleted immediately to free capacity. Tsune-no-gata optimized for instant categorization as irrelevant. Guard's brain spent zero resources, therefore encoded zero memory. But cognitive invisibility was just the foundation. Real power came from where this disguise allowed access. While other disguises had specialized weapons, Tsune-no-gata weaponized objects of daily life. Simple cotton hand towel. Every peasant carried one. Most innocent object in Japan. To ninja, multi-tool of destruction. Weighted with stone, flail. Used dry, garrote. Used wet, silence mask. Guards checked for swords, never confiscated sweaty towels. Portable writing set carried by clerks. Bamboo tube for brush, container for ink. The brush was often spiked shuriken disguised as writing implement. The ink held blinding powder or poison. If stopped, ninja shows ink and complains about paperwork. Guard sees bureaucrat. Ninja holds dagger in plain sight. Not throwing knives like pop culture suggests. Digging tools, masonry implements. Every farmer had one. Carrying sword without status was crime. Carrying trowel was normal. Yet skilled hands could pry gates, dig under walls, pierce armor at close range. The weapon invisible because its function is mundane, but tools were secondary. True power was operational access this disguise provided. You might think common form means limited access. Wrong. It means different access, invisible access. Every castle needed hundreds of workers, planers, porters, kitchen staff, gardeners. These people accessed areas high-ranking samurai couldn't enter. Gardener could approach Lord's private tea house. Sweeper could listen outside war councils. Because they were low status, high status people spoke freely around them. The Shoninki implies a cold truth. The Lord never whispers when servants sweep. To him, they are furniture with legs. Mission: observe targets without being noticed or remembered. Tsune-no-gata operative positions in public space: market, temple grounds, street corner. Appears to be waiting, resting, eating. Completely unremarkable behavior. Actually doing: systematic surveillance, noting meetings, observing conversations, tracking patterns. Duration: hours or days. Because nobody remembers the unremarkable person who's always been there. Transport intelligence across hostile territory as peasant, porter, pilgrim. Checkpoint interrogation: where going? Home to village. What carrying? Vegetables for family. Guard loses interest mid-answer. Waves through without search. Brain categorized as boring peasant, zero threat. Intelligence documents hidden in vegetable basket pass security that would catch any suspicious person. But even perfect invisibility had vulnerabilities. Advanced enemies developed detection methods. Because Tsune-no-gata was so effective, paranoid lords developed systematic countermeasures. Guard would bow deeply to passing peasant. "Good morning, master." Real peasant would look terrified. "Why is samurai bowing to me?" Ninja, accustomed to respect in secret life, might unconsciously bow back or show recognition flash. That split second of dignity was death sentence. Physical examination exposed frauds through evidence that couldn't be faked quickly. Man claiming farmer must have hands rough from hoe, soft on sword finger. Clerk must have permanent ink stains. Counterintelligence checked for sword callus, specific hardening from years gripping katana. Can hide weapon, can't hide hand that wields it. Dialects were distinct. Peasant from Owari spoke differently than peasant from Satsuma. Spies learned standard dialect but missed slang, swear words, specific intonations of lower classes. Interrogator would tell dirty joke using local street language. If peasant looked blank or laughed wrong moment, mask crumbled. But the most sophisticated operations involved networks of invisible operatives. The face you forget is more dangerous than the face you fear. If seeing how ninja achieved invisibility through perfect ordinariness is changing how you view background people, like and subscribe. Because what comes next reveals when being nobody meant being everywhere. And if you want deeper study of real historical text behind these techniques, check the ninja books in our description and comments. Worth every page. Single Tsune-no-gata operative was invisible. Network of them was omnipresent surveillance system. Later, Tokugawa sources describe elite operatives working under perfect Tsune-no-gata cover as gardeners and maintenance staff in Edo Castle. They trimmed pines, raked gravel, were always there, invisible in their utility. Visiting daimyo would whisper secrets in gardens, assuming man pruning bonsai was deaf or stupid. He wasn't. He was direct agent of the shogun, hiding in highest security zone on earth by being person who cleaned it. Markets were information hubs. Merchants gossiped. Servants shopped. News spread naturally. Tsune-no-gata operatives positioned as vegetable sellers, day laborers, street vendors, background people everyone sees but nobody remembers. Information flowed to them naturally. People spoke freely around nobodies who wouldn't understand important matters. Villages needed traveling peddlers, itinerant laborers, wandering craftsmen. Tsune-no-gata operatives filled these roles, moved between villages gathering troop movements, supply data, local grievances, economic conditions. Perfect cover. Expected transients explained travel. Low status meant zero verification. Ordinariness ensured nobody remembered them between visits. 1637, Shimabara Rebellion, Christian peasant uprising that exposed fatal blindness in shogunate intelligence systems. Tokugawa had sophisticated systems, Metsuki inspectors, Onmitsu agents, informant networks. They watched samurai movements, merchant activities, temple politics, visible power structures. They missed peasant organizing, village coordination, common people's networks. Warnings existed. Local officials received them, filed them, buried them. Because peasant unrest didn't fit their threat paradigm. Tens of thousands of rebels coordinated across domains, gathered weapons, built fortifications, all through networks of nobody. Peasants, laborers, fishermen, people who moved freely because nobody considered them threats. By the time shogunate realized scope, rebels had fortified Hara Castle and prepared for siege. The lesson: intelligence didn't fail. It succeeded perfectly at watching the wrong people. The invisible ones were never in the picture at all. Tsune-no-gata carried unique psychological costs other disguises didn't impose. Other disguises added false identity: merchant, monk, entertainer. You became someone. Tsune-no-gata required becoming nobody, erasing personality, suppressing individuality, accepting invisibility. Long-term impact? Some operatives forgot who they were before. The mask of nothing consumed the person beneath. The Shoninki hints at this danger. The man who is nobody for 10 years may discover he was never anybody at all. Samurai culture valued honor, respect, recognition. Identity mattered. Tsune-no-gata required accepting constant disrespect, being ignored, treated as object, denied basic human acknowledgement. For trained warriors accustomed to respect, this was psychological torture, more brutal than physical pain. Some operatives broke, couldn't sustain indignity, revealed themselves through emotional reactions to casual contempt. The Shoninki debates whether this disguise should even be used. Argument against. Making warrior into nobody destroys what makes him valuable. You gain invisible spy, but lose trained operative. Argument 4. Missions requiring invisibility cannot be accomplished by those who insist on being visible. Some objectives require sacrifice of self. No resolution, just acknowledgement that this disguise extracted highest psychological price. Core insight transcends eras. Attention is finite. Systems filter. Filters have blind spots. Most sophisticated security focuses on threats, anomalies, suspicious patterns. The person who is perfectly unremarkable bypasses all of it, not by defeating security, but by never triggering it. Natori's final lesson: the greatest disguise is no disguise at all. Just be someone nobody bothers to remember. The investigation closes. The magistrate files his report. Unknown assailant. No witnesses. Outside, a man passes carrying firewood or buckets. No one looks twice. That's Tsune-no-gata. No dramatic entrance, no sacred horns, no painted masks. Just the quiet realization that the most dangerous person was the one you never thought about at all. We've completed the Shichi Hō journey. From merchant ledgers to mountain gods, from theater stages to street corners, every mask pointed to one lesson. The deadliest invisibility isn't magic, it's psychology. And the scariest question Natori leaves us: how many Tsune-no-gata have walked through your life while you were watching the important people? Look around you now. The delivery driver, the cleaner, the quiet person in the corner. Are they background noise, or are they watching? The invisible army never disbanded. It just became so ordinary you stopped seeing it. Until next time, remember Natori's coldest truth. The face you forget is the one that remembers you.